Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your Collagraph Sandbox. We're going to talk a little bit now about planning out your print once you've decided on the arrangement on your plate and the pattern that you're going to make on it. So I've highlighted here this arrangement that I've chosen, and I've liked this pattern that makes kind of the circle with the accident. Pretty cool. So I'm just going to move that up to the top, and I'm going to get rid of that yellow background now. I don't need it because I know that this is the one that I would like to use. So we're going to get rid of that. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to group the four images together. So I'm going to click on one, and then I'm going to hold down my Control button or my Shift button, and I'm going to select the other three of them. So now I have all four items selected. I come up to Arrange, and I'm going to group them together. So now I have one big thing grouped together. Now I want to mess around with sort of the colors that I have on here. So I'm going to come over here to Format, and you can see right here this option, Format Options with the little paintbrush, is going to let me manipulate my image. So here we have Recolor, and it says nothing right now, but if I click on this, I can pick different colors to put on here. So let's first take a look and just put this into grayscale and see what we can do with it. So right now we adjust the transparency a wee bit, and that'll help fade some of those grid lines that I have. And then if I mess around with the brightness and the contrast, I can get something that's going to look more like an actual print by kind of getting rid of the way that the there we go, the way that the background of the plate looked. So when I printed it, you know, I've got my little marks here. Those are kind of in the way, but I get a sense of what it would look like if I had it in all black and white, which is really, I kind of like it. So we're going to mess around with that a little bit more. So let's duplicate the slide and try another one here, and we're going to select our whole thing, and let's change it around now. Let's do it in negative and see what it would look like if I printed it on black paper with white. Okay, that's kind of neat too. So I'm going to make a little note down here in my speakers box and say black paper would be good for contrast. So I'm making myself little notes, and you can see what kind of horrible typer I am now. I'll just fix that. Okay, and so I can also mess with some colors on here. So let's duplicate this slide again. Duplicate slide. Okay, and you know what I want to do? I want to mess around with different colors and imagine if I use different ink colors, what it would be like. So I'm actually going to ungroup this, ungroup it, so I can look at each individual image one at a time. So let's say for this one, I want the color to be bluish. Okay, and I want the opposite corner also to have that really cool bluish color. And let's use something really contrasting over here. Oops, I accidentally went off my slide. Oh, that's kind of neat in its own. I could do a combination there. Let's take a look at perhaps doing, I don't know, maybe this orange in this corner and over here in this corner too. Be kind of cool. And now I have sort of a different pattern there. So that's, I don't know, this is a little too intense with that. So let's increase the transparency a bit, bring up the brightness a bit. And then what happens when we mess with the contrast? I like the contrast higher. That's a bit better, something like that. So I could repeat that over here and then make a decision about, you know, what do I think out of these options my print will look like? Am I going to use color? Will I go ahead and do white on black, or will I do one color? And I can come up with some different ideas and get a sense of what I want to do before I go ahead and actually do the printing process. So at this point, I want you to come and conference with me. I'll take a look at your sandbox, and we can discuss what you're going to do, and I'll set you up with your printing materials, and off you go. You know exactly what you're going to do. That's it for now. I hope you have fun.